All right, guys, we are back. This is the Sherdog.com One Championship Preview Show. My name is Keith Shillan. I am a staff member with Sherdog.com. This week, we're breaking down One Championship, only the Brave card, which goes down this Friday from Singapore. If you're in the United States, where I am, you can check out the card. It kicks off at 7:30 a.m. on the East Coast, so that would be 4:30 a.m. on the West Coast. So it might be a little tough for the West Coast guys, but if you're on the East Coast, head over to Bleacher Report, head over to Bleacher Report app, head over to Bleacher Report YouTube page, any of those great, wonderful options to check out this card. If you're outside of the United States, you're in Canada, you're in Europe, something like that, head over to One Championship website. You can see, go into the event section, go over how to watch. It'll explain exactly how you can watch it. So I'm going to break down only the MMA fights on the main card. I must warn you that this event is a very heavy kickboxing match. If you're really into kickboxing, you love kickboxing, make sure you don't miss out on it. I'm sure you'll be pleased with the action. But being that I'm an MMA writer, and I definitely wouldn't consider myself any kind of expert on kickboxing, I'm going to sidestep the kickboxing, only cover the 3 MMA fights that are on this main card. That said, even though it's only 3 fights, I'm really excited about these matchups. I think they're evenly matched, and I think the winners of these matchups gotta make some noise in this wonderful promotion. So without further ado, let's get into it. Before I actually get to the matchups, though, I want to say if I pronounce anybody's name wrong, it is purely just a mistake on my part. I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I do struggle with some of the Asian fighters and even some Eastern European fighters' names. So if I say anybody's name wrong, I apologize. So let's get right into it. The first fight is a well-known fighter, used to fight in the UFC, now is really making a name for himself in One Championship, Jared Brooks. He takes on Koha Minowa. Brooks, if you're a hardcore fan, you probably know Brooks. He's a bit undersized for the division. I mean, he's a really small human being, but with One Championship and then no weight cutting rule, I think he's really found a weight class that he can settle in a little better than when he was fighting in the United States. On the feet, he's a fast guy. He's got some really underrated power. I like his pocket boxing. I like that he really tries to close the distance. He'll either just get to the pocket or try some like flying stuff to close the distance, to just kind of create some kind of what am I thinking? What word am I looking for? But just some kind of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. Just some kind of action, I guess, or some kind of unexpected actions, or just kind of a flurry to kind of take place. He uses his striking really well to set up his entries because he's a really great wrestler. He's got some fast entries. Despite being undersized, I've seen him time and time again pick up fighters, just kind of scoop them up in the air, slam them hard to the canvas. When he's on top, really understands body control and smothering top control. Once he kind of wears his opponent out from the top control, he starts looking for some ground and pound. He isn't just a wrestler, though. He's got some good back takes and scrambles, and he's got 6 submission wins in his career, so he's definitely a threat if it gets down to the ground. And move over to Minowa. Minowa is a Japanese fighter. He's only 22 years old, so you like that. Taking a big step up in competition, facing a guy like Jared Brooks, but this guy's won 6 fights in a row. On the feet, he's a very aggressive striker. He does really good to draw his power by just sitting down on his punches. And at 22, he probably hasn't even reached his power ages, so he's at the age where you're going to see more and more effectiveness with his striking, at the age where a lot of fighters improve. So we could be starting to see some more knockouts from him moving forward. He throws a lot of kicks. One thing that is disturbing to me is that he's got, I would say, weaker takedown defense. I wouldn't say weak takedown defense, but he has been taken down. But he's really good in scramble. A perfect example is him in his last fight against Alex Silva. He has some really fun grappling exchanges with a really good grappler in Alex Silva. He showed that he was hard to submit, being that so much of that fight was on the ground and Silva wasn't able to catch him. He doesn't have the best top control. He needs to improve that, but he has also a submission threat himself. He's got 8 submissions already in his young career. So, but if you put him on his back, he does struggle to get back up, which obviously is not ideal situation going against a guy like Brooks. Now, this is a tough one to call. Brooks is tough out for anybody. But at 22 and the skills that he's already shown, Minowa really has a legit chance to win this fight. That says, I am going to go with the American. I'm going to take Brooks. Minowa hasn't shown me enough yet that he can't stuff takedowns especially against a wrestler of Brooks's caliber. But it wouldn't shock me if he does, because suddenly, being at that age, 22 years old, you continue to improve. So that wouldn't shock me. But what I expect him to get taken down. I expect him to be kind of tossing up submission attempts, with Brooks just avoiding him, using the top position, landing some ground and pound. I really think, going back to last weekend, I think it really could look a lot like the Tony Gravely versus there was Saman Oliveira fight, where Oliveira is a good grappler, a good submission artist, but Gravely was crafty enough and good enough wrestler to just kind of take him down and avoid the attacks. And I think that's what we get with Brooks. So give me Brooks to kick off the MMA portion of the night. I say night as in Singapore, or kicking off the morning for us in the United States. So give me Brooks to pick up another win in the organization. Moving on to the next fight. This is the fight that I am extremely excited about. It's Zhang Lipen versus Ruslan Emilbek. Zhang is a Chinese fighter. You might remember him in the UFC because he won Tough China. He's a really big, muscular fighter who's really just big for the weight class. On the feet, he marches forward, pocket boxer, and I would say he has, I don't want to say good power, but I say plus power. Like, he has some snap in his shots. He has some negatives, though, on the feet. He stands a little bit tall. He doesn't have the best output, and he has been hurt by leg kicks. He's opened up leg kicks, but he's a really good wrestler, too. Fast entries. He's also, as I talked about Brooks, picking guys up in the air. That's something Zhang likes to do. He likes to pick guys up, slam them. Got some slick back tags if he gets the right angle once he gets to the ground. Once on top, he really looks to advance position. We've seen that in a lot of his fights. And he doesn't just advance position to kind of hold you down. He advances position to get in better position to land heavy shots himself from on top. He has a submission threat. He has 13 subs in his career. However, and he's got a really extensive record for a guy who's only, I think he's 31. He has been submitted 5 times in the past, so he can be caught. Move over to Emilbek. Emilbek is a guy from, I think it's Kyrgyzstan. He's a long and lengthy fighter. Got some good output on his feet. He works behind a busy jab. His straight right is a really good punch that he throws. It's accurate. He likes to press into the pocket where he unloads big combos. But some negatives, he is a little bit flat-footed and can easily be backed up by more physical fighters. And he will actually back up right to the fence because he doesn't like pressure. But sometimes he uses that pressure to drop down in a nice solid reactionary double, and he's got some pretty good timing on that. He's got 4 submission wins, so if you put yourself out of position, which Zhang has in the past, he could catch him with a submission. 2 major things I don't like, and Emilbek showed me more in his last fight, but he does tend to fade a little bit late in the fight, and that might be because he fights at a high output early. So that's something he needs to either learn how to conserve his energy a little bit or maybe just continue to improve his cardio. And the other thing that is a little concerning is his chin, being that he was knocked out quickly just 2 fights ago. So as far as prediction goes, this is a really great fight. Both guys are well-rounded. I just think Emilbek's forward style might set him up to be taken down. And it isn't often when Emilbek isn't the better wrestler in the matchup. It's, he often is the better wrestler. So I think in this case he might not be. So I see Zhang get enough takedowns and position to control a really close fight. But I'm going to say the Chinese fighter gets it done in this fight. And let's finish it up. Like I said, guys, it's only a quick show, only 3 fights. We have a really exciting fight, which could have some title implications on it, as both guys are red hot. We have Jae Woong Kim taking on Tang. Jae Woong Kim is one of the rising stars in one championship. He's 28 years old, from South Korea, on the feet, very fast, very athletic, fights at an insanely aggressive pace. He does really good to never take a step back. He really holds his ground and tries to pressure his own opponent back. Nice snap on his punches. He showed power with a big knockout in his last fight. I like that he goes down to the body, softens up the body before opening up more bigger combinations. He'll throw out an occasional spinning attack, which I'm not crazy about, but it obviously excites the crowd. He can sneak in a takedown. He isn't one-dimensional. He likes to get in close, get some trip takedowns. He's got some really hard ground and pound. He's very aggressive with his ground and pound. He might be too aggressive. He might need to slow down a little bit because I've seen him at times lose position. And he's also, if you're going to be aggressive, you might want to be a submission artist. He's not really a submission artist. He only has one sub in his career. Now move over to Tang, really young fighter. I don't have the exact age. Maybe it's on one championship, but a couple of sources I saw didn't have the exact age, but I know he's young. He's a good striker. Similar to his opponent, he moves forward. He likes to be the stalker. He does really well to cut off the cage, which shows for his footwork. He's got good visions. He really sees what's coming at him. I think he's got some big power. He works behind a power jab. He doesn't just throw it to kind of set up things. He throws actually hurt. I love that he also targets the body. His left hand is really sharp, especially his hooks. He showed that in his last fight. It was a left hook that knocked out his opponent. He does make the mistake of keeping his chin a little high for my liking. And he isn't much of an offensive wrestler or offensive grappler, but he has showed some superb takedown defense, especially in his last fight. It was basically a sprawl and brawl where he was just stopping the takedowns and then opening up until he finally got that knockout late in the first round. So prediction, this is a crazy fight. It's a really fun fight. I think we're going to have some fireworks in this fight. Kim is the more well-rounded fighter. He also has the big fight experience. He's also coming up a much bigger win than anything Kai has faced. But Kai is younger. He looks really special to me. I expect both guys to be landing big shots. I don't expect this to go to decision. I expect someone to go get knocked out. I don't have the betting odds here. I'm assuming Kim is the favorite. But I'm going to go with an upset. If that obviously is the case, this isn't a betting show. This is just a straight prediction show. But if it is, I'm going to go with Kai regardless whether he's a favorite or underdog. I just have a feeling. I just like what he said, what I've seen. I think I've seen improvement in the fights that I've seen, getting better and better. I'm going to say Kai gets it done. I think he's going to land something big, and I'm going to say he does it in the second round. So there you guys have it. There's all my picks. I was on the fence, if I'm being honest. I was on the fence with all three of these fights. So that's what I love the most. I love when we have fights where I really ain't confident. So good on the one championship matchmakers to make it such an unpredictable card. I think it'd be a really great way to start your Friday, start your weekend. So make sure you check it out. We'll be back soon. We got a really good card coming up in early February. So make sure you check out all the rest of the stuff on the Sherdog channels. We have other breakdown shows that I actually do. We do some recap shows. We have interviews. We have everything you want on the Sherdog Championship page. I don't know if there's another website in MMA that covers one championship as much as Sherdog does and as deep as we do. That's something we really pride ourselves on, being different than other websites. So make sure you head over to Sherdog, check out all the things over there. Also check out YouTube page. If you like this, guys, share it, leave a comment, tell me what your picks are, and then like it and check out other videos. Until next time, guys.